Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So this video is on ReactJS form validations, okay, using React Hook form library and Bootstrap UI components, okay, not React Bootstrap, normal Bootstrap UI components we will use. So React Hook form library is very compatible and recommended library to integrate into React.js application for form validation. Okay, let's jump into create a small demo and we will go through different kind of integration of form validation using the React hook forms. Okay, let's create the React application. So command is like npx space create react app space name of your project. Okay, let's run the command so that project gets created. Project created successfully. Let's open the project. Here is our React.js project. Now let's install the Bootstrap first. So go to Bootstrap website and in the home page itself we can find the npm command. So copy the command. So open the terminal, install the Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap installed successfully. Now let's import the Bootstrap CSS file reference onto the index.js file. Okay, go to index.js file. So let's import Bootstrap CSS reference file. Okay, okay. Now let's install the React hook form library. Okay, for that, such like React hook form. Okay, and click on this link. Okay, go to get started and here is the command to install the React hook form library. Copy the command. Okay, and open terminal, install it. So React hook installed successfully. So let's check the reference. So in the package manager, you can see the React hook version 7. Okay. So now let's do some samples to understand the form validation, how we can implement with the help of the React hook form library. Okay. So what I will do, go to our app component, which is our entry component. So we will use this component for our demo. So remove everything and just add imaginary tags and add a bootstrap div container. And here, one thing we have to remember, we have to use class name instead of a class. A container and sorry, another div and specify the class name row. So all these are bootstrap classes. Okay. And column, I want some margin top and it should be in the middle. So column D 8 offset MD2. Okay. Now inside of it, let's add the form. Okay. So this is the form tag and just go to Bootstrap and go for docs. Here, let's go to form section. Okay. Here, let me copy this one input field section. Okay. So input tag missing closing tag. Okay. And from this, let me name it like name. Okay. It will be a text. Okay. And this should be class name. Please make sure to change them from class to class names. Okay. Okay, this is our simple form. And let's add button as well. Okay, add here button and let me remove this div tag. Okay. So this is my simple form that contains name. Okay, now using this form, I want to integrate the React hook library, how to read or how to register the form fields to get the data, all those things let's understand. Okay, so now we have to use form. Okay, so that loads from the React hook from library. Okay, what it will provide means for now we want few things like register. Okay, comma and handle submit. Okay, so this register is used to register the every input field inside of the form. Okay, so that any data entered automatically will be pushed to this use form state, that is by registering this register. Okay, this register also has capability to uh, add the validation rules. Okay, all the things we will understand step by step. And this handle form submit will be used by our on submit event. Okay, so first let's register our form. For that, what I can do, on input tag, open braces, triple dot. That means we are injecting, okay, into this input field our register element. Okay, and first thing is we have to specify the name of the field. Okay, so this name, okay, will be the represents this input field. Okay, and this name will come as a one of the property for form data. Okay, so I have registered my input field. Next thing, on form there is a event like on submit, which is a form event. Okay, to that we have to pass handle submit. Okay, and this handle submit need to give our custom function. So means let me add like constant our custom function, like function name like form submit. This is my custom function. Okay, it gets data as a input. So this data is nothing but our form object. Since we have only name, right, what it will do will contain means it will contains only object with name property. Okay, so to read form data, this must be passed as a input to our handle form submit. Okay, that's it. And let's just console log it data. Okay, now if I enter something on my form, okay, if I submit, you can see this form submit executed, and you can see the console log, and console log contains an object. That object contains only one property, which is our name property. Okay, here you can give any name, that is your choice. Since it is a name field, right, I have given name. Okay, let's run and test this, like form submission, whether we are able to read the data or not. In general, what we will do here, we will write our own API call for post our form data to the server. Okay. For this demo, I am not going to show any API call. In general, API call logic. Okay. So let's run and test it. Okay, here I got a form with simple text field name. Okay, let me open the, and here I am seeing one warning that is for which is a normal HTML attribute, but in React class should be class name like same way it should be HTML for. Okay, please change it. Okay, if I reload, warning is gone. Somewhere there is a class. Okay, let me replace everything. Okay, save it and let's check. Okay, now all warnings are gone. Now if I enter something, my name, and I submit, see, I am able to get the object in the console log. And you can see this object contains only one property, that is name. So this name property, nothing but the registered name here. Okay. And how simply we are able to read the form data, and we can simply pass this data as a payload to our API in real-time example. Okay. So that is a simple form using the React hook. Next, let me add a required field validator. Means this text box should not be empty. I want to add a required field validator. Okay. So by default, React hook form supports some default uh, validation rules. In that, required field is 1. So it is very simple to integrate as well. Here itself in the register method, comma, open a bracket and specify like required. And you have to specify true. That means this field is a required field. Okay. So this will enable required field validation to this field. But we have to show error message and also some red color border to this input field. Okay. So for that, what I have to do, I am going to use some Bootstrap style for form validation. First thing is, instead of directly assigning a form control here, what I can do, I will use expression, okay, and open backticks and add this form control inside of it, okay. And now I can use dynamic string interpolation and I can use a conditional check here. So I have to read the error object. For that, in my form state, I can get the state of the error by using form state and errors. Okay. Now I can read this errors directly. Okay. So what I can do, I can use that errors property dot. So whenever an error occurs for a particular field, here the field name is name, right? That name will be added to this object automatically. Okay. Name. So if name exists means error exists. If no error, this name property won't be exist in this error. Okay. Or empty. Okay. Name. So my field name, right? Name means some error is exist. Okay. How we can check? If exist, I can add a class like Bootstrap class. This is Bootstrap class is invalid. Okay. Else empty string. Okay. And I will add one more div here like form validation div. For that, let's go to Bootstrap website and go to validations. From here, I want a div. This div I want invalid div. invalid feedback class name div I want. Okay, copy that, and I cannot render it directly. I need to use the expression. So expression something like same expression what we have used above. Okay, so errors dot name property, this name property, nothing but this name property. Okay, and so this conditional expression of it work means if the first expression is true, the second expression whatever will give it will be render. Okay, just paste this, not this one. Our HTML copied, right? Okay, so here I can add my custom message. Name is required. Okay, now let's test and whether we are able to trigger the validation errors or not. Okay, save it, refresh our page. Okay, one more thing, class name. Okay, so reload. If I submit with empty text field, see red colored error message is showing with my custom error message, that is name is required. So that means we have successfully validated the required field validation. Okay, and let's also do another check like range. Okay, like min and max validation. Okay, which is a default one. So for that, what I will do, I will change this label like age, and this should be a number. Okay, I will change the, now this is age, right? I will name it like age. Okay, and this property name will be age because I changed here, right? I'm changing the example. Okay, and here is age. Okay, now what I will do, I want to give a age restriction. For that, I can use default validations method like minimum age 5, comma max age 20. Okay, if the age is entered in the text box below 4, error will be shown. If the age is entered in the text box above 20, error will be shown. Okay, now here we are going to check one more thing, that is here now we have configured two kind of errors, right? So to represent them individually, instead of directly checking the age field, we will do one more additional uh, property check like type. This type will give this name, means validation type name. Okay, min. So I will name it like min age is 5. This is my error message for minimum age validation. For max age, just duplicate this, and here I will check type like max. Okay, and age should be, and validation like max age is 20. Okay, so here main things, name registered, validations registered, and checking the validations for age itself. Here we are not checking like type because either it is a max error or min error. We want red colored border for the input field, right? So here there is no dot type like that check. Okay, and here it is triple equal to, okay, not single equal to, triple equal to. Okay, now let's check whether we are able to validate our range validation. Okay, if I enter 1 and submit, see minimum age is 5, and if I entered some 50 and submit, see max age is 20. Okay, if I entered some valid one like 15, that is we are able to submit. Okay, and if you see the age here in the console, it is coming as a string, right? So by default, our use state form always returns string value. But if you want to read that value as a number. Okay, then you can use value as a number true. Okay, now if I check, if I submit, sorry, reload and enter some valid value and submit, see, now it is coming as a number. Okay, and so that is about range validation. Okay, now let's do some pattern validation like email validations like that. Okay, for that, first let's change the label to email text. Okay, and I will name my register name like email. Okay, so wherever I want, I have to change. Here I want to change first thing. Okay, and here I don't want two messages. One message is enough, whether email is valid or not. Okay, and now here remove this, and here we can add pattern. Okay, so we can add the regex pattern to validate. Okay, for that, let me search for email regex. Okay, just copy it from internet, some random regex. Okay, copy and give it here. Okay, and now here it should be email because it is a email property, right? Email, and type will be just a pattern. Okay, and here we can give message like not a valid email. Okay, just save it and let's test it. Okay, now let's test it. If I reload, I got email. Okay, and this should be changed to text input type. And let me enter some valid. Okay, if I submit, it is submitting. Here you can see the email. If I enter some invalid, see, it is firing, not a valid email. Okay, that's how we can add our custom pattern, any patterns like email validation. Okay, next and final one, let's do some custom validations. Okay, so something like comparing two fields. Okay, like that. Custom validations we can implement for them. Okay, for that, what I will do, let me change it to first name. Okay, and I will register it like first name. Okay, just remove this pattern validation. Here I want to add the custom validation. Okay, since it is a first name, right? Let's change it to first name, and here it will be the first name. So missing bracket. Okay, so let's duplicate this entire div and paste it here. Let's name it like last name. Okay, and give the registration name like last name, and here also change, and here also change. Okay, so for first name I don't have any validations, so I simply remove this and remove this validation object. Okay, for the second name I will have validation. What validation means? Last name and first name can't be same. Okay, now I have to create a custom method. Okay, let me create one custom function like last name and first name should not match. Okay, arrow function. whenever we register our, this is my custom validation logic containing method. Whenever we register our method, I can read the value of the field directly. Okay, so from this we can get the value of the field. Okay, so let's register this method. So where I can register here, for registering the custom method, we have a property like validate. Okay, to that we have to pass the our custom method. Now I can read value of my last name here. Okay, you're missing closing circular brace. Okay, here also missing closing circular brace. So now here, if this method returns true, that means validation is success. If this method returns false, that means validation is invalid. Okay. So now what I will do, I will write a logic like if value means last name field value is empty. In that case, if they both are empty, I don't want to check any validation. For that, I simply return true. Means validations won't fire. Okay. Now I want to compare with first name in this form. So how can I get the first name value here? For that, use form provides us a one more property like get values. Okay. And from this get values, I can, if you want to get any form field values, you can simply invoke this get values and pass the name of the field, registered name. So here my registered name is first name, right? So if you enter like this, you can read the whatever value inside of this first name input field. Okay. So now here what I will do, I will add one more condition. Either this one or that one empty. No need to raise the validation. Means simply return true. Okay. Now original logic we will write here like so value not equal to first name value. That means both are different. In that case, it will return true. If both are matches, means if first name contains Bob and last name also contains Bob, then it will return false. That means validation is failing. Okay, then validation error erases. Okay, so at that time we will display the match error message. Okay, now here we should not use pattern. We can use validate. Okay, that's it. That much simple. Validations integration using the React hook forms. Let's test this as well. Okay, I got two fields, first name and last name. So now if both are empty, see no error message is raised. Here printing first name last name as empty. If I entered some Naveen, okay, and different, both are different. If I submit, I'm able to submit and no error message is showing. But if I entered here as well Naveen, see, both are matching. You cannot specify the both values same. Hence, our custom validation is also successful. Okay, so that's all about most commonly used form validations by using the React hook form library in the ReactJS application. Okay, so the reason why I have used here normal bootstrap means here we can have input fields directly in a normal bootstrap. For suppose if you go to React Bootstrap or any library, UI library, okay, you go to the components and if I go to forms, here there won't be input or input elements like that. Here there are wrapped bootstrap components. Okay, whenever we are using third-party UI component element tags, in that case we have to use different implementation slightly different implementation using the React hook. So that I will try to explain in next video how to use React Bootstrap components using the React hook, a form library. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video delivered some useful content to you all. If you like my video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Soon we are going to meet with new videos. Until then, signing off.